Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Janex.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good to see you in the
Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year, Oji.
Great, you all look
This
lovely.
is a reunion, right? It's been a while.
Yes.
That's true.
I hope you guys had a great holiday.
Well,
You know I did.
Well,
I know
was
you did.
monitoring her on Insta story.
And who did you see on my
on
Insta
social
story?
media? Well, I saw many things. I was wondering.
Well, I had a
You've
great...
been up to some mischief?
No, just fun.
You sure?
Just fun.
Okay.
Only fun.
Good, clear.
I saw you in one yacht. I saw you at the beach. I saw
That's
you.
fun. That's holiday, yeah.
Okay. But I want the back end stuff.
I will. You know, I always debrief you. You know that, Dr. Abati. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers, and Happy New Year. These are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United Kingdom, former Prime Minister Tony Blair, who was made a Knight Companion of the Most Noble Order of the Garter in the Queen's New Year Honours list, was targeted on Sunday by anti-war campaigners who criticized his knighthood as a kick in the teeth to the people of Afghanistan and Iraq, with more than 270,000 signing a petition for the honor to be taken back. In France, a giant European Union flag displayed at the Arc de Triomphe in Paris to mark France taking on the bloc's presidency was removed over the weekend after it was criticized by right-wing politicians. Marine Le Pen, a far-right leader, said replacing the French flag at the monument was an attack on the country's identity. In Japan, Kane Tanaka, the woman considered to be the oldest person alive, on Sunday celebrated her 119th birthday. Tanaka was born on January 2nd, 1903, 11 years before World War I began. She hopes to live until she turns 120 years old. Under sports, a picture of Senegalese football stars Edouard Mendy and Sadio Mane jetting off to the African Cup of Nations after starring on opposing sides in Chelsea's 2-2 draw with Liverpool in the Premier League on Sunday night has made the rounds. Liverpool forward Mane scored the first goal against Chelsea after dribbling his international teammate and goalkeeper Edouard Mendy to score the opening goal. The football stars will go from opponents to teammates at the AFCON, with Senegal's first match taking place on January 10th against Zimbabwe. Finally, under entertainment, a new documentary on the life and struggles of American multi-talented artist Janet Jackson is set to premiere on Lifetime this month. The upcoming documentary features never-before-seen home videos and interviews of Janet talking about the death of her brother, Michael Jackson, and the child sexual abuse allegations made against him, dealing with family tragedies, as well as her controversial Super Bowl appearance with Justin Timberlake, and more.
This is the truth. Take it or leave it. Love it or hate it. This is me.
I want to be the one in control.
Well, let's begin what's trending. Hakeem Odumosu, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, came under fire on social media over the weekend after he ordered the arrest of security guards at a private estate in Lagos who allegedly delayed and denied him entrance into the estate. In a statement to debunk reports that the Commissioner of Police locked down the estate during his visit and altercation, the Lagos Police Public Relations Officer explained that Odumosu had visited the estate to meet a strategic partner over an urgent matter bordering on security, but was refused entry even after being formally introduced. And after 30 minutes of deliberate humiliation by the security guards, the CP ordered their arrest. The statement went further to warn private security guards against the flagrant disregard of police officers. I guess I should start with you, Tundu. I mean, I do live in an estate, and usually the security guards always, try to enforce the laws of the estate. But I thought it was quite absurd when I saw those videos circulating and why the police commissioner would even try to arrest the security guards that were, obviously carrying out their duties. But like the statement read, they were completely disrespectful to the Commissioner of Police. And I thought that it was wrong. I didn't think it was correct. If he had introduced himself as the head of security of Lagos State, I don't think that they should have gone further to disrespect him in the manner that they've alleged.
What were they thinking?
Yeah.
If he was introduced and is coming there on official duty, even if it was a personal issue, I've heard of estates having signs banning taxis, Okadas and what have you.
Yes.
But you cannot, within the territory of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ban the police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What were they thinking? And then he actually waited half an hour. He's actually quite patient.
Yes.
They did deserve to be arrested because if you're obstructing police work, you will be arrested. It's actually an offense under the criminal laws of Lagos, chapter 13, offenses against public authority. So they had to be arrested for what they did. Now, I don't understand the other, part of this story, the aftermath of that melee with residents being up in arms. The fact of the matter is that private security firms were all grateful for their services. They opened and shut the gate. That's about it. If there's any serious offense, a threat to life, property, you will need the Nigerian police.
Yes.
So I don't know why they decided to come and launch some kind of a protest against the, I believe, rightful arrest of people who were obstructing police business. We've discussed earlier this morning the audit report about the missing ammunitions, and all of that just feeds into a general distrust and disrespect for police officers. But this is not okay what they did. And it's to the credit of the estate that they apologized. And they ought to, because even they know that those individuals did overreach. And I also want to address the fact that, yes, we all talk about police officers extorting motorists and other, nasties that they commit. But these men tolerate all kinds of abuse, all kinds of insults from the public just because they have a uniform. Some of them have been killed just because they're wearing a uniform. You have even the Commissioner of Police being treated in this shabby fashion while trying to conduct official duties.
Yeah.
It just goes to show something really must be done. That slogan of police is your friend, very few of us feel that way. People take a very antagonistic posture towards the police, even though we need them, we rely on them. This has to be addressed. So an incident like this should not reoccur. But kudos to the estate for apologizing.
They did apologize.
Yes.
They've issued a statement, Dr. Abati.
Okay, there are two sides to this story. And there are two statements also presenting the two sides of the story. So before we judge, let's hear both sides. Now, the police PRO for Lagos issued a statement saying that, look, the security guards at this Magodo Brooks estate overreached themselves, that the Commissioner of Police identified himself, and despite the fact that he identified himself and he was moving with the entire paraphernalia of his office, he was still denied entry. The police PRO for Lagos State tells us that the police commissioner was going to this Magodo Brooks estate for a strategic meeting related to security matters.
Yes.
And on the basis of that, he concluded in the police statement that nobody under the law has any right to obstruct the police in the course of the discharge of their duties. And he gave a warning that when next this kind of situation occurs, that the full weight of the law will be brought to bear on those persons who obstruct the police. And in other words, he said, the police commissioner did not shut down the estate, but that he even provided security after 4 of the persons, of the security guards, had been arrested. Of course, there was another lady, one I think Mrs. Adeniregun, who was also arrested. That's the position of the police. The other side of the story is a statement issued by Mabra. That's the Resident Association for Magodo Brooks estate. And they are saying that, well, they apologize to the people who were disturbed because of that incident that occurred. For 4 hours, that CMD road in Shangisha, Magodo area was shut down, causing mayhem. They claim that they approached the police commissioner to arrest the madam who had been arrested along with her children, and that the police commissioner was so angry that he refused. And it was not until 11 p.m. in the night that he finally agreed that persons who have been arrested should be bailed. Even in the statement by the estate, you could see that resentment. The estate association was also trying to protect the security guards. That day, there were many events in the estate, and all they were asking for, the security guards were asking for, was the specific house, the residence, that the police commissioner was going to, which is paraphernalia of office, so that he could be assisted accordingly. But that the police commissioner took that as an insult. So we have two basic issues before us, two sides of the story. But what are the details here? One is that people have the right to protect their estates. The law even allows it. That's why we have gated residences, gated estates around Lagos. So the security guards may have been overzealous, but they were doing their work. Two, the police are saying that the commissioner was going for a strategic meeting, where the estate is saying he was not coming for any strategic meeting. He was coming for a jollofi and pepper souping event. And the security guards were just doing their work. And they tried to intervene, but he did not listen. In other words, they think that the police commissioner was pulling rank.
Well, that was the story that was trending.
Was using, state paraphernalia to go and enjoy pepper soup.
That's why
he has the right to do so, but, okay, did he overreach himself? That is the question. In some other crimes, an incident like this will be investigated in terms of police-community relations. Who overreached himself? Because nobody is above the laws of the land. But we may never get that opportunity because anybody in uniform who has a convoy, is expected to be worshipped. It's just that you had in this particular estate some stubborn security guards who do not respect constituted authority. How can you see the convoy of the police commissioner? And how dare you ask him to identify where he's going? However, the other point made is that, yes, policemen are not supposed to be obstructed when they are in the course of legal duty. Some people are saying that the police commissioner should apologize to the estate for coming to disrupt the peace and all of that. But I think that the matter will eventually be resolved. However, out of all of this, I think it's unfortunate that this has happened. Hakeem Odumosu is an outgoing police commissioner in Lagos, having in the last week of December 2021 been promoted to the position of an assistant inspector general of police. Now, after his promotion, he is the only commissioner of police who ever served in Lagos that was given special recognition by the Lagos State House of Assembly. He was invited to address the House of Assembly in terms of his experience. And then, of course, I think he's due to retire. And he has had quite a distinguished career. First as the head of the Lagos State Task Force on the Environment, later as Commander Rapid Response, and then he was posted out. He went to Edo, served briefly in Edo. He served in Nasarawa State. Eventually, he was brought back here as a commissioner for police. It's most unfortunate that his exit from Lagos is being marked, tainted by this particular event. What ordinarily the estate residents are saying it was a jollofing and pepper souping outing, But that notwithstanding, whatever may have happened does not take away from his achievements as a police officer, from his contributions to the security situation in Lagos, his gallantry as an officer. And he himself, I think, as an individual level, would not want to be remembered for whatever ugliness this represents.
Absolutely.
And he should try to make amends and clear the air properly on this. Otherwise, this is one of those human stories about how a brilliant career could be tainted at the moment of glory.
Yeah, we've talked a lot on this, briefly on this, so we can move on to the next story.
I think it goes back to the ethos of the Nigerian society, if there's any ethos at all. We've become a society that is high-handed. Let's not deceive ourselves. We've become a society that tramples on people. And that's what I see in this story. You might not like security outfits, putting security men there, But there are basic questions about where is your location in a certain estate, which you should provide. And if you can't get it, I think it behoves on you to call the person, to call the gates, and they grant you entrance.
I guess he couldn't achieve that, yeah.
The next thing, there was an effected arrest for what? And why?
Obstruction.
Obstruction. So why did he charge them to court for obstruction?
You arrest people first before you charge them.
So after arresting them, why did he follow up with the case?
It was weekend.
Well, I guess
it will even look worse if he follows up with the case.
No, he should have followed up with the case now. So let's.
No, he couldn't have done that holiday, weekend.
No, you know why I'm asking that deliberately?
That's excessive.
No, let me ask that deliberately. So isn't the arrest in the first place excessive?
If you're
No,
obstructing the police,
they are
you will
right
be
now on
arrested.
administrative bail. If the
You
police
get-
still wants to charge them,
So
they can.
They should go ahead if there's an offense there.
If you're obstructing the police, you're not
No,
arrested.
they should go ahead if there's an offense there. Because Dr. Abati, you stated here, was it an official assignment? No, it was a jollification assignment.
So that's a good point.
It was a jollification assignment.
that's
It was there for a Sodiwuke.
Translate. So the what?
So is that an official?
No. Why are you
I have to
showing
go.
some bias here?
No.
Why are you believing the statement that he went to Jollof for what?
Jollof and
the
pepper
state
soup.
from the
Pepper
PRO,
soup.
police
Over
PRO.
the police PRO that it was a security strategic. Why is your bias? What is this animus that you have?
What strategic
Well, all right.
deal are you going to do over the weekend in an estate?
No. The police can work 24 hours.
Said it was a security
365 days. No, without prejudice.
No,
But he's the Lagos
with your
State
president.
Police
But
Commissioner.
you also follow
Fine.
what is there. The estate asked you, where are you going to? If he knew the location, nobody was going to stop him. So, I mean, it's fast showing what our society has become.
Anyway, don't let's take sides. I think the public will decide.
We decide.
Exactly.
Okay.
Opinion will be buried.
Very good.
But it's good we have presented both sides of the story.
But that estate, if
That's
there's a
all.
security problem, you will call the police.
Oh, definitely.
Your uniform guards cannot help you. That's really, for me, the takeaway here.
Okay.
Well, all right. We shall take another story. Reactions are trailing the declaration made by the governor of Rivers State, Nysome Wike, who over the weekend placed an immediate ban on street prostitution and nightclub activities in some parts of Port Harcourt. The governor made the declaration during a New Year broadcast, a move he says is to curtail open display and solicitation of sexual services, drug abuse, and public intoxication. Let's take a listen before we take some reactions.
Apart from the noise and traffic nuisances suffered by innocent residents, no responsible government should continue to tolerate the open display and solicitation of sexual services, drug trafficking, and public intoxication that takes place along the streets and public areas abutting some of these nightclubs, lounges, and bars by the youth, some as young as under 14 years. Consequently, the state government has placed an immediate ban on all nightclub activities, including nighttime trading and street prostitution.
Well, I heard it's a street prostitution. Let's take a quick reaction. Someone called Peter Okpe, who wrote, "Prostitution is older than Wike's generation. There's no city in the world that is free of prostitution. Even the most beautiful cities around the world have prostitutes." Dr. Abati, I mean, I don't know if it's just prostitution.
No.
Street prostitution, that's what he banned.
No,
On a
whether
particular
it is
area.
street prostitution or it is prostitution simplicita, is what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Is that the governor has an aversion towards prostitution. I can comment on this for the next 1 hour.
No.
I will try to be brief. I'll start as follows. By recommending for the reading of the governor of Rivers State, Nysome Wike, a book titled Mrs. Warren's Profession, written by George Bernard Shaw in 1893. And it was first performed in 1902, and subsequently was performed around.
Mrs. Warren's Lush.
Mrs. Warren's Profession indicates, that prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. Nobody can ban it. It's the original, most authentic profession. So if you want to ban prostitution, you are wasting your time. Now, the moral of that play by George Bernard Shaw is that, look, people don't go into prostitution because of moral depravity that they go into prostitution as an economic necessity. That play was written in Victorian England. Queen Victoria I was the queen at the time. And Bernard Shaw, when he was interviewed in 1898, because there was objection to the book, to the play, by the authorities. When it was performed in the US, they even stopped the performance. His argument is that, look, these women that you see who engage in prostitution, they are not there because they are failed as human beings. They are there because they don't have jobs. They are there because of omissions within society. Whether they stand in the street or they go and take a room in Mrs. Warren's housing units, it is because they need to fulfill a need that society has not provided. And that the way to address it is to meet them at their point of needs. Look, prostitution, I used to write a column. Are you
actually going to say that?
Well, no, I won't mention the column so that people won't know that I was the man behind it. But the subject was, prostitution. Prostitution is the only profession I've seen where everybody is just starting the work on the day you meet them. It's the only profession where experience is not an asset.
Dr. Martinez.
No, you will never meet a prostitute who will tell you, I've been on this job for 20 years. No, they are all just starting the job. Do you get it? So that proves Bernard Shaw's point that is out of necessity. So,
my first time.
as for Nysome Wike, the governor, what is my point? My point is simply this. Instead of demonizing street prostitution or prostitutes, can you regulate it? That's what they do in other countries of the world. It can be regulated. It can be looked at in another direction. But to think that you play the Pope, even the Pope will not condemn prostitution.
All right.
Even the Pope will recognize the economic implications of a problem. And we have in this country a National Association of Prostitutes. I'm surprised that the National Association has not spoken up on this matter. They should speak up.
All right.
But there are other issues in the government.
Well, we don't have time to take our second story, so you can keep talking on this one. No, continue. Keep going, because I think our last story, we can try to do it tomorrow. But I think the bigger issue really is the nightclub as well. Is there any legal backing on that, with that?
To ban on that street?
Yes.
I think Governor Wike of the bulldozer fame, he's laying down the law here, but he's making a really good point, I have to say. Social vices and the fact that children as young as 14 are exposed to all of those nasties.
Especially on the streets.
Yes. And it wasn't just prostitution. I know that's the part that will tread.
That's the part.
Talks about car pushers, stealing manholes and, potentially causing injury and death.
I think the problem for him is them being on the streets, coming out
in the neighborhood
to sell their wares.
And public intoxication.
And for the young people, really. I mean, well.
And it talks about illegal refineries.
Yes.
And the complicity of security agents.
But the prostitution is
that's the part
But we also have to look at paragraphs 24 and paragraphs 52 of the governor's speech, where he was saying, I've directed the local government chairman of Should the government give directives to local government chairman? And in paragraph 52, he was saying that he will remove traditional rulers who do not attend.
They don't show up.
It's not the first time, is it?
Those are also other areas of concern.
An interesting speech.
Thank you all for your great analysis and Happy New Year again. Yeah, you too. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.